My dear masters, welcome to today's session. Today is Dasara. I wish all of you a happy Dasara. Most of us, almost all the countries celebrate Vijayadashami, very wonderful today. And Dasara is a festival of celebration of a victory. Victory of Mataji, like who kills the Asura, is in one way is nothing but killing the Asura that lies within one's own self. Is by the victory of one own winning is nothing but Mahishasura Mardhani, killing all the negativity. That's what the significance they say. With that, I just would like to start to today's session. As the topic is BA Master. Before I start the session, my Atma Pranam to Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji and Swarnamala Patri Madam, to my parents, to all the gurus that shaped my journey, my soul so far. Not just only them, all the friends, all the PSSM masters, as a friends, as a guides, that they are helping me. And now you all join the team. Let's all grow together, shaping each other. Before starting the session, let's all sit quietly for a minute and invite our gurus. As today's topic is be a master, we are all in the process of, towards understanding, learning, and implementing what are the qualities of the master, and we are not masters yet. So instead of me saying about a master, I wish my Guru Vani speak through me today. Let's all sit for 1 minute quiet. If you wish, you can invite your personal Guru if you feel anybody that helped your journey so far. Let's go to today's session. Let me share my screen. We all use the word master many times in our life, and we often call people master. What master is somebody master over something, some skill, some technique. What actually they do, they try to be perfect, learn from their mistakes, try not to repeat their mistake. And among us, the group of that particular skill, they be the most perfect person, and yet they still try to improve their skill forever. That's what in the general way, like if, for example, if you take any player or any skilled artist, that is what you commonly see. And this is the way how we try to do is here in the spirituality. We try to look into ourselves. We want to master over ourselves. We want to master over our emotions, our talk, our actions, everything that relates to us. So This is how one can drive their personal journey, and that's when eventually they walk towards being a master. To be a master, when you spiritual way, how you can you can be a master ultimately. First, you have to, like just like any other game or any place where you have to compete with your enemies and you have to win your enemies. Here, our enemies are, especially in the game or anything, how you win, you have an opponent before you. You know who is your opponent is. But when you have to win your own self, it's very difficult because you don't know what all that you need to change, what all the things that you need to win within yourself. That is the reason why journey find inside you or the spiritual path is very difficult. Mm. Yet we still have to keep on trying because otherwise, what is the difference between a human and an animal? There is a purpose for this life. How do you know? What are we're not just like an animal. We try, eat, live, eat, sleep, die. That's not it. We can think, we can talk, we can communicate, we can take care of ourselves as well as Mother Nature and other creatures who can't take care of them. When you really look at other creatures in around the world within, that are sharing this globe along with us, genuinely every creature within their capacity, other than for their survival need, like eating, or maybe sometimes when they are scared, they don't really harm anybody. They actually do whatever the within their capacity. They try to help the nature. They try to help everyone who is sharing this globe along with them. But being a human, what we are actually doing, how we can change this only by looking into us. So let's see what are these kind of these enemies that are stopping us making progress. These enemies are our emotions, all negative emotions like ego, arrogance, conceit, selfishness, greed, lust, intolerance, anger, lying, cheating, gossiping, slandering, blaming, and last but not least, laziness. We don't need any other enemies to stop our growth. Any of these can stop our growth. These are all called Asuri Sampada. We have to make an effort to overcome all these Asuri Sampada that is lying within us. Ravana Brahma, the Asura, Ravanasura, he used to be called as Brahma. He used to make a creation just like a Brahma does. But still, he couldn't overcome his ego, his lust. What happened to him ultimately? He 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 had to die with within the hands of Rama. Rama is nothing but dharma. So the wise person has to look at himself and overcome all these things But it's not that easy. By saying, we can easily say like, you have to leave your ego, you have to stop being arrogant, and you have to stop your greed, anger. But while implementing it, it's very, very, very difficult. uh, Everybody, most of us, even after coming into the path, doing meditation, we still have lot of things that we need to change, we need to get control over. How can we get control all these things? So when we do meditation, that's when, just like a uh, just like how a water, the when you have a pot of water with a little bit of mud in it, you can't really see through. You have to wait for some time so that the water settles, all the mud goes down, and the water gets clear. The same way, when you do meditation, all your thoughts and emotions get settled. Then you can look at your own self. When you are looking at yourself as a second person within you, you can clearly identify the things that, whatever are causing imbalance within you, so that, excuse me, so that you can address them. Most of us, unless we got used to it for ages, most of us, we can identify, we notice when we get anger, when we get greedy, when we made a mistake, when we did not respond to other proper, when we missed to help purposefully. We notice something, inner voice we always tell us, like, you should have done this, you shouldn't have yelled at. But still our ego comes in between and then kills the other voice, which is telling you to change. But by practicing meditation, you get to hear this inner voice much more louder, so that you can pay more attention towards it. Then once you notice, you observe something very strong repeatedly, you make an effort to overcome it. We are humans. We can make mistakes, and we got used to, for so long, we got trained. So how we can make an effort to overcome? First, willingness to be change, to get a change within you itself is the one step ahead than others, like towards your um, internal journey, towards your success, towards being a master. Once you are determined to change yourself, then try to observe what all the emotions you are getting whenever you are able to notice. Once you find, for example, today I got angry um, towards my daughter. Maybe it was a very silly mistake, or maybe with a word I can bring a lot of change in her, maybe not repeat it again. Instead of, putting my effort towards changing her, I put all my effort, energy to express my emotion, anger. Then I noticed that, okay, today I got angry. What I am supposed to do? What was the situation? What is my emotion? And what is the purpose? Did it solve the purpose? What I am supposed to achieve? When you make these kind of observations, don't blame, don't judge yourself, or don't judge the other person. Just try to identify what emotion, and then slowly try towards analyzing it, identifying. Then Slowly, you can overcome all these emotions one after the other, one at a time, maybe each time. Because today you can control anger on one item, one thing, one incident, but maybe tomorrow you may not be able to. Never ever judge yourself, neither you nor others. Don't judge any situation. Just try to be with an open mind. Try to understand. These are the only things that can help you get command over all your emotions. That's how we have to make effort and try, keep on try, gain leave Asuri Sampada, gain Devi Sampada. Once you identify, take control over your anger, you gain peace. You don't have to make another effort to get the peace. The problem so far, all of us, for ages, for generations, we started learning many things which got part of, like a genetical part of us, that they have become, that now we have to make an effort to unlearn them. Once you know how to unlearn one thing, it will become much more easy for you to unlearn all remaining things. The only thing is you need to identify and then start focusing towards it. For this, meditation gives you a lot of focus, lot of calmness to face these situations. As well, it gives it makes you enough brave to face your own faults. Because one should have a lot of courage to face their own fault. It's very hard to accept, even for our own within our own self. It's very hard to accept our own fault. But once you identify it, then you look at yourself and the rest of the world, and you think, definitely you get a conclusion. Okay, I'm a human. I am allowed to make mistakes. Why can't I give myself another chance? Once you do that, you definitely want to do the same thing for others. When I am allowed to make mistakes, why not others? Okay, let them give a chance to correct themselves, or let them help to correct themselves. So for all these things, you need to really put an effort. Just the way how a player cannot be a master at a game, he might win a game once or maybe by chance twice. But to be called as a master, he constantly has to put his own effort. The same way, one should put effort to become a master. Patriji says, one cannot become a master until one aims to be a master. This is the first step. Aiming to be a master is the first step. That's what he says. He also says we have to become masters of our mind. The ability to still our mind is so very crucial. In that stillness of mind, our inner senses get activated and begin to throw light on aspects of our personal, invisible, greater reality, plus the impersonal cosmic reality. That's why Patrisar always says, do meditation, do meditation. Even when you don't aim to be a master, once you still your mind, once you calm down your mind, that you observe, automatically you observe yourself. That itself brings, pushes you towards your destination, the ultimate goal of your soul. So once you say, what happens when I become a master? What next? What happens to me? So I win over my emotion. I can control my fear, my anger now. I can control my fear now. Then why things are not happy for me? Why all good things are not coming to me? No, that won't change anything for you. Once you learn to get control over emotions, you try to understand. You try to understand others. You try to understand the situation. And that brings you acceptance. That brings you forgiveness. Slowly, your capacity towards tolerance, everything slowly they improve. That is nothing but the Devi Sampada that gives the being master over your emotions, over yourself, gives you an attitude how to accept the situations. You don't try to judge. You don't wish for only good things to come. You don't even expect anything. You learn to accept things that comes into your life, and you try to master over the situations, master over handling them better in a peaceful way. Patriji always says this, like when a person is enlightened, like whether you are an engineer or a legislator or a businessman or a teacher or a student or a clerk or a bus driver or a housewife, you can be happy in your respective positions only if you become a spiritual master, because that's when you know how to handle that situation, how to accept the situation. First of all, accepting itself and leads you to peace. If you really think about it, we really think about when we get angry, when we can't accept what happened, when we get frustrated, when we get sad, because it whatever happened, or the person or the situation, it did not meet our expectation. So why do we have to be a master? As we said, like why when we take a birth in this life, we all know by now, even the Western society, initially they didn't accept, but even in the Western society now, they believe in they accept in the reincarnation, a person taking a rebirth. And that means why one has to take a birth again and again. To understand these things, we can't really get all the knowledge, whatever we, with our own experience, with our own experiments. That's why people who did all this research, all this journey, all this enlightenment, all those masters, they have come up, they put it in a book, in the form of books. That's why we should always read, incorporate a reading as a habit in our life to make progress. This is one more thing that, Swadhyaya, that you have to learn. by reading books. That too, don't pick any book. Just choose the books that are written by masters. And Patriji suggested lots of new, not just only the Indian authors, like Indian masters. There are lots of new age masters that are coming from the Western world also. He has a big list of authors that we have to know about, like, from Nepal and all, Lobsang Rampa, and here in from US, the author that came up with the untold story of Sita, Dina Mariam. Like, there is a list of books that we can provide you with. We share you those, the list of others. The reason why we have to know all these new age masters, how our gods used to be in ancient days. After that, slowly the ages change. Then, like, Buddha came. After that, the age changed. Now there are new, like Sai Baba, like that. For the way how the society, the people are changing, to be able to make them understand in, like, the same way how the language changed, even the situations change. So everything according to the changing times, to support them, to make them understand, make their life easy to follow. All these new age masters bring the same knowledge in a softer, better, easiest way to make us understand. That's why it's always help us, give us a direction when we are stuck, when we don't know what to do. Many times, these masters help you to get guidance. This gives you the art of living, how better the gift of life that you got, how to live as well. It prepares you how to die, so that in the next birth, when you take a birth again on this earth, or wherever you want to, what happens next, how you want to. They say you choose this birth to learn a lesson. So what kind of lesson that you want to learn this birth? If it's like, you are in first grade today, and you are supposed to finish your exam and get promoted to second grade. If you don't get promoted to second grade, if you don't finish your exam this year, you have to repeat the same first grade next year as well. The same applies to the life as well. If we don't pay attention, don't learn what we are supposed to, how many lives you want to be in the first grade? So that's how we all have to, whatever that we are working on, whatever the studies that to get a job, to make money, this is only to take care of the physical body. But when we know we are not just the physical body, when we know we are the souls and we have to take birth, there is a reason why we are taking birth, and we have to make effort to understand the reason why we have to take birth and what we have to learn. And there is no escape, even after millions of births, that ultimately what you have to be is nothing but a master. So when you know what is your goal, then isn't it wise thing to start making effort towards it? And then you might get a question, what are all these religions and all these things, and why we have to follow only certain way, whether this is the right way or not. If you put an effort, keep your mind open, try to gather information from all the books, masters that are suggested by Patri sir, or you feel free. Any enlightened master, the first thing that whoever try to follow him, that will be given, the freedom will be given to his followers. The same way how Patri sir gives. He tells you to go open. Many times I have seen people try to read some new books and they have suggested Patri sir, this book is really nice. And he would really appreciate the person who introduced him that book. And then he would tell anybody, like, once I visited India, that time I got a chance to meet Patri sir, and he was telling me, Madam, did you read this book? Sadguru Tapasvi Ji Maharaj book. The life of Sadguru Tapasvi Ji Maharaj. It's very nice. Everybody should read. Like that, untold story of Sita. This is the real Ramayanam. This is the story that one should learn, one should know about. This is how Sita used to be. This is how Rama used to be. See, there are two things why you have to know all these stories, all these histories, all about these masters. You should learn only from master, first thing. For example, when I grew up, I used, when I was in teenage, I used to be a little bit feminist. So I used to read all the books related to feminism. So I used to follow, there is a writer called Chalam, Gudapati Venkatachalam, in my language. He talks about freedom, and he appears to be like, he doesn't believe in God and all the stuff, or not even anything, like he's like atheist. That's what I know when I was in teenage. After 10 years, when I was working in US, one of my colleagues gave me a book about Ramana Maharshi. While reading that book, I learned the Gudapati Venkatachalam. By the time he turned old and he passed away, he ended his life as a Mahabhakta to Ramana Maharshi. He is a great follower of Ramana Maharshi, and his daughter used to be a follower of Ramana Maharshi, and she wrote a lot of books on him. Then that made me think, oh, what I know about Venkatachalam is not complete. What I read is only the state of mind of that writer during that age. Maybe when I was 10 or maybe 15, maybe he is 50. That time he's not that mature. He's not enlightened. He also grew as a human. That's when I realized that I should never depend on a person, a normal person, regular person. That is when I started looking at more towards the books of masters. One, how to identify this is a good book. Most of the times, you never see any judgment towards anything. You never find any hatredness. They welcome everyone. They treat everybody same. They give lots of freedom. You know, your soul will identify when you're reading a good book, book of a master. They give you a knowledge. They give you, by the end of reading, they change your life for a good way. And also it gives you a lot of, it helps you to increase your Devi Sampada within you. Patriji says, mastery is easy for a regular sadhaka, difficult for an irregular sadhaka. So regular practice, always being conscious of the goal, will make everything happen. That's why we should always keep on practicing. Meditation, Swadhyaya, Sajjana Sangatya, sharing your experiences. One cannot learn everything on their own. They have to, if we share something, whatever that our experience, it will be many times. It happens in all our groups and all our JTTP sessions and many other sessions. Somebody's experience is an answer for somebody's question. It's that way, by sharing your experience, you are answering somebody's question. Patri sir says, how you become a master? Whatever you know, teach others. You answer somebody's question, if you know, then you are a master. That's so easy. Everything, Patri sir made it very easy for all of us to learn. You don't need to, even for a beginner, even if you are at day one, if you know how to do meditation, teach it to another person who doesn't know. And you are a master already. You know the happiness of giving, teaching. He says, like, you usually commonly what we listen to people, they saying, I am too old now, I can't change anything. No age is too old. You can start today and be a master. Maybe by the time your life is done, or maybe at least you will be able to make progress to find your soul purpose for this life, and then make progress, and you don't have to born in the same situation to learn the same lesson again. So never ever is too late. We should tell even old people to be masters. That's why Patri sir says we have to talk to old people also about mastery. Nothing is impossible for a man. Childhood, old age, and lack of education are not barriers for any person. That's why sir used to teach meditation to vegetables and vendor, anybody, um, small shop owner, anybody he sees, he used to teach meditation. At the same way, when we grow up, we learn a lot of things which are not really nice. At the same time, it's very hard for all of us to unlearn to be masters, like whatever are not nice, whatever is not positive. We have to unlearn all those things to learn the positive things. So, by knowing this, we should keep this in mind and make the lives for our kids very easy, teach them from the young age spirituality, looking into their own self, identifying their own weakness, finding the calmness, finding the balance in their emotions. All these things we have to add them, give them knowledge. How you show your affection towards your kid? By trying not to give the same hardship what you went over. Try to make their life easy. And this is the best gift that you can give to your kid, to show the way to be a real master. That way, not just only your kid, the future of the world, future of the generations that we are putting in the right path. Patrisa says, we should encourage children to become masters. We should not consider children as mere children. They have taken many births before this life. Nobody is merely a child. An advanced soul could be in a child's body. We have to treat them like masters. We have to talk to them about the theme of mastery. That's how we have to mold our children and the future. towards the right thing. I personally feel the way how humans' life cycle is like, balya, brahmacharya, gruhastha, vanaprastha. The same way, even the soul has a journey like that. An animal who take, like, they say, like, they become like rocks and, like that first, the soul, other groups, so they take a birth and then they become plants and then they turn into animals and then later they take life as humans. And many books I have come across that they say most of the animals that overcome the fear of humans, especially the ones who are being pets in our homes, they most of the times their next birth is human. And the person who has become a human, they try to understand the way how humans behave. They try to enjoy. Sometimes they can't leave their past vasanas. They sometimes behave like they show their characters of from their past life like an animal. Some you see many times people behaving like even their gestures. I have come across a couple of people in my life that their movements they're very similar to a monkey. I'm not trying to judge, but trying to understand the concept. So when this is the way how things are happening, when you try to incorporate in your life the practices to be master, in one way you are showing the future human the way how you can turn, how they have to set their life. At the same time, you learn the initial first when you born as initial stage is learning, and then trying to the next stage, and during the brahmacharya kind of you try to practice, implement, and then during you try to observe, learn, practice, and then later you implement, and in the final stage you teach people. When you know things, when you be master, all these masters, what they did, Buddha, Krishna, Rama, Patri sir, like all these masters, once they know what is truth, what is consciousness, what is God, what are they themselves, once they become master over that, they started teaching us so that we don't have to waste lives of time to be masters. Out of compassion, out of love, they try to teach. Still, there are people who doesn't really want to be okay, and it takes their own time. That's why Patri sir says, you don't have to force anybody. If you feel like doing for your own sake, you do it. You can't change anybody. If you really want to change anything, start changing your own self. Here, I want to talk a little bit about once you get Devi Sampada. Generally, what they call the Devi Sampada is fearlessness to do the dharma, the purity of mind, getting more spiritual knowledge, the charity, the law of karma, and try to do only good deeds, controlling your senses, controlling your emotions, doing sacrifice, acceptance, understanding people, and being straightforwardness, like, you don't have this something in your mind and do something else, like non-violence, truthfulness, and peacefulness, compassion, love towards all living beings, being gentle, modesty, forgiveness. The last I would like to say, cleanliness. You become clean inside out, not just only your body, your thoughts. They say antahkarana. This thought, this cleanliness is what you eat to what you feed your soul, and what comes out of you as a human, as a soul, outside to the society, to the world, to the universe, will be very clean. What you gain with doing meditation, being clean, you lose all your dirtiness. When you take bath, you lose all your dirt. You be very clean. Do you want to enter into mud once you clean yourself? No, right? You will be very careful. The same way, when we pay attention to all our negativity, all our Suri Sampada, right? Once we learn how to overcome them, when there is dark left, what is there? Only light. Then we have to make sure that there is no dark entering in. At the same time, we have to make sure we have to protect the light within us. We shouldn't waste the light. The light is nothing but the energy that we are gaining, the cosmic energy that we are gaining doing meditation and gathering all the positive information and practicing all the positivity. So, how to protect that? You have to protect, you have to make sure what you are feeding your senses, like what you're looking at. Are you looking at unnecessary, unwanted, controversial, complicated stuff? Or is it really adding anything positive to you, any knowledge to you? For example, you saw a pleasant movie, a very funny movie. How you feel? You feel energetic. You saw a very scary movie. How you feel? You saw a very horrible, like, the violent movie. All killings violently. How you feel at the end of the movie? You get headache, you get pain, you get fear. You get scared night, like scared dreams. The same, the impact when you have positivity within you, when you eat positivity through your senses, when you take in, you get more positive. When you look at the negativity, when you take up negativity through your senses, you lose all the positivity that you got in. So you have to be very careful how you're spending your hard-earned energy. First, your eyes are more strong. That is where when you look at something, that gives you a thought about the thing, what you watched, what you read, what you have seen. Then the thought slowly have impact in your whole body. Then it gives you a word, a speak. You speak out of through your thought. So if you feed something, that's why people say, right? Hey, nothing. I just made a fun. It's just joke. There's nothing. I'm not serious. No. Deep inside you, it's not fun. It is something which are hiding within you inside. You're just saying, taking help, that you are making fun of it. They say, in my language, they say, matilo emunte gatilo adostundi. That means whatever you have inside your brain, that's what you say, that's what you face. So why we have to pay more attention to how we are using our energy when we see something that gives a thought and that gives our speech. So whatever we are speaking out, they say for the subconscious brain of us, most of the acts that what we are doing through the subconscious act, like there's a mosquito, we kill it. It's eating, it's biting us, we kill it. We are driving. Many times we don't even pay. Sometimes we don't even pay attention, but you spontaneously do some action to some others. You do reaction to some other action. Even when you are not really looking at some car is coming or some light signal is turning, you just follow because you train for a while, repeatedly doing so, you train your subconscious brain. They say your subconscious brain knows only you. That's why you have to be very, very, very careful what you are training, what you are feeding your subconscious brain. So, since it knows only you, whatever you're speaking, that always pays attention to the subconscious brain. Subconscious brain always pays attention to what you're speaking. So, if you say something bad to somebody, it only understands that you're saying something bad, but it doesn't understand whom you are saying. So it tries to bring it to your reality. That's why they say if you curse somebody, you are going to get whatever you give to others, that is what you are going to face. This is the reason. That's why we have to save our energy. We have to pay attention to where we are spending our energy, what all we are feeding our brain, so that we communicate better with the people. We speak, we watch our words, we watch our thoughts, we watch our actions, because the actions are ultimate reality of all these, the combination of all these things, what we see, what we think, what we talk. That's what brings our reality. With repeatedly paying attention, making an effort, saving our energy, slowly it will turn out to be a master. When we become a master, we try to turn the next person to you, your family members, your kids, to be a master. When the world is full of masters, what else you need? It's a pleasure to be, pleasure to live. It's a pleasure to see. It's what Patrisa says. A master is a pleasure to look at, a pleasure to listen to, and a pleasure to be with. A master is one with everybody, and everybody can become one with the master. This gives you the ultimate knowledge that you are nothing but a master. You are nothing but a God. When you know you are nothing but a God, slowly you learn, you understand. Even the other person before you is nothing but the God. Once you know, identify that the God within you, you can easily identify, you can see the God within others. Then finally, one day you will identify the whole world is nothing but the creation of God, which is nothing but the same God. That is called the oneness. You see everybody just like you. You treat everybody just like you. You be compassionate with them. You be in oneness with them. Their pain is your pain. Their pleasure is your pleasure. In Patrisar words, Jesus was a master of masters. So, was Buddha. Muhammad, Ramana Maharshi, Vivekananda. All are gurus like Guru Nanak, Raghavendra Swami, Kabir, Veera Brahmendra Swami, all these are masters. All of them were grand masters. And what has been their single message to the whole of mankind? To be a master. So let's contemplate on the theme, be a master. Let us spread the theme, be a master, to everyone. The world should be full of masters. This is what Patri sir always used to say. And this is his dream, to make the whole world, to make the humankind into masters. That's why he always used to address all of us like, my dear masters, my dear friends, my dear gods. Master, once you become a master, once you know yourself, you be friendly towards others, you're friends with others, knowing that they are also nothing but God. Once you understand that the God, once you notice the God within you and the others, then you are in that oneness. All are nothing but the God, the different forms. The way how our 5 fingers and the single hand, you call them as hand, but you do different actions. The same applies to your body. The whole thing completely makes a body, just like God. And every one of us completely different, independent, have many different tasks, many different purposes, but working for that body to be in a proper condition, to be healthy. The same nothing but the God. We are all nothing but a part of God. And with different bodies and looks like a different soul, because we have different tasks. That doesn't really make us any different, because we are nothing but the God.